What's wrong?
I thought I hit the wrong button, but I didn't. Okay, we're
No,
good.
you hit the button. You hit the round button and made it a square button. What?
Okay, in the comments, please tell him how buttons work because you push a button and it stays a button. The shape.
No,
of
see,
the
it was a red circle and now it's a red square.
But that's a. Hang on.
Oh, you think the white circle is the button? Okay. All right. Well, anyway.
Okay. But no, in the comments, if you do have any topics to suggest concerning prayer, thoughts, questions, please feel free to ask them. We can't think of everything, and we are better able to help you out in your understanding if you let us know what you need. Let us know what you would like to hear us talk about and what you need help with.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
Check out the other videos on our channels. We have sermons from our Sunday worship. We have ladies' class lessons. We have children's class lessons. We have Judges and Ruth and the world religions one that we're just starting as well.
On Sundays.
And tons of these.
Tons,
I think this is we're up to 65 or 66 or 7 or, I mean, we're 2 months worth. You watch one every day for 2 months to catch up if you haven't seen any before. So,
and today we are back with another prayer. We are still in Judges.
Yeah, we'll be in
Judges.
Judges.
Sad.
Well, it's actually
Judges is a sad book.
It is kind of depressing, and yet the more I look at the world we live in, the more I see Judges. We're back.
Wigs included.
Well, not those kinds of judges.
So they don't have the wigs?
No.
Do judges nowadays wear the wigs?
No.
That's sad. They should bring that back.
Maybe in England. That was really kind of a Britishy thing that
fair.
Some of our, some of the early people in our country still kept doing for a while until they were like, you know what? This is why are we doing that?
Because it looked cool and was incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah. I say blessings upon Benjamin Franklin for saying, you know what, I've got my own hair, even though it's disappearing quickly to the back. I've got my own little bit of hair, and I don't need a wig. I mean, he was. You never see a picture of Benjamin Franklin with a wig.
Fair.
All those other guys, they're wearing their little wigs, and he's like, you know what, I'm bald and beautiful.
Debatable, but okay.
Well, I'm not saying he was bald and beautiful. I'm just saying he was like, I'm bald and beautiful. I mean, anyway, he was confident enough to just go out there and break the trend.
He was a character.
Yes. Anyway, speaking of characters, okay, well, you can search that on YouTube. There are videos.
Okay.
As long as we're looking at conspiracy theories, how about Jephthah's daughter?
Oh, yeah, this is a fun one. Okay, so let's give you a rundown of the prayer first, and then if we have time, we'll jump into some of the...
You know what? Go back and look at our Judges video on Judges 11.
Yes, too.
Because we discussed that a little bit.
And the following prayers that we'll be getting into with Judges, what is it? 20? Yeah. Judges 20. Not going to talk about that one too much, hopefully.
Let's stick to... Yeah, we're going to dig deeply into that. No. Let's look at Judges 11. So, this is one of those longer prayers.
It is?
Yeah, 55 words is actually a pretty long prayer.
Oh, okay. Well,
for some of the...
on the setup we have here, I'm just looking at... We have 2 pages side by side, the previous prayer lesson and this one.
Yeah, but the big chunk...
the previous prayer lesson is like...
but
this prayer lesson is like...
Well, I know, but the big chunk there was God's answer. It was like 3 times bigger than the prayer. Anyway.
Sound effects provided by Xander Pasley Noises Incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
They're incorporated as part of Xander Pasley.
Copyright and trademark and all that stuff.
Yes.
So Jephthah made a vow to the Lord. Now remember, if you remember our last one, the Israelites were crying out for help, and God said...
What else is new?
no, but then
I had planned to say that before you said, and then God said. So
what else is new? Well, yeah, he kind of,
God said, "What else is new?" He did,
and then he said no, and then but then they repented, and of course he said, "Okay, I will send you what you deserve. I will send you the outcast son of a prostitute to lead you."
Accurate.
Yeah. The Bible is so interesting. There's so many things that just
The word trippy comes to mind.
But Jephthah makes a deal with the people. They're like, "Hey, we need go fight for us," and he's like, "Yeah, you kicked me out, but okay, I'll go fight for you, lead you. But if I lead you, then you gotta give me stuff and make me cool again." So he makes a vow to the Lord, though, before he goes. He says, "If you give the Ammonites into my hand, if you let me win the battle," in other words. That's old-fashioned way of saying, "Let me win."
Help me kill people.
"Then whatever comes out the door of my house, when I return in peace from killing the Ammonites, will be the Lord's. And I will offer it up as a burnt offering."
So, little bit of background on Israeli
Middle
Eastern culture.
Houses.
Houses weren't just houses.
They weren't just
were
people
also,
places.
Yeah,
they were animal places too.
It was like your farm, your stable area. So,
a lot of times the main floor would be basically the barn,
two-story or so,
and the people lived above the barn.
main floor would be the barn, and so it was perfectly plausible, especially for someone living out in the wilderness.
Yeah, I mean,
you'd figure he'd have a few animals out there.
He's got sheep, he's got goats, he's got cows, or
keep them in the house, and so it would make perfect sense.
Keep them safe from the lions and wolves and bears and things like that.
So it would make perfect sense that the first thing out of his door is something that would be
an animal
offering, sacrifice worthy.
Yeah.
So
however,
God comes back with his answer.
Yeah, and God answers his prayer. Basically, well, he's kind of answering his prayer, but he's also answering the prayer of the Israelites from the chapter before.
Yes. Two birds, one stone.
I don't know how many stones were involved. There were a lot of swords. The stones really are more in the story of David.
Was the tribe of Benjamin involved? Because those guys with their slings.
This wasn't Benjamin. So,
legendary.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to hit a hare with a stone, left-handed, or some people. Well, anyway, we talk about that's another story. Yeah. I mean, even if you could do it with that kind of sling like that, if you could do that from a foot away, that's tough enough. But I mean, anyway.
I thought you said we weren't going to talk about the Benjaminites slinging skills.
We're not. Okay. We're not going to talk about it. Just because we did talk about it doesn't mean we're going to talk about it. So, Jephthah went over and fought the Ammonites. And guess what? Yeah, God let him win.
Woo woo.
And he struck them down. 20 cities with a great blow. He knocked them all down.
Roar.
And
I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your 20 cities in.
I don't think it was that kind of a blow. I think it means more like a blow, like you hit. That's probably going to sound absolutely horrible on the audio. Remember when we've tried blowing, whistling, and stuff on?
Well, it just didn't. It didn't show up.
Oh, did it not?
Yeah, when
okay. That was our soda videos. Anyway, all right. So the Ammonites were subdued, and Israel was freed from them.
Ammonite, Shamalanmakites.
I don't know about the Shanmakites.
No. M
Night
Shyamalanmakites.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
That's what I was going for, but my tongue got tangled.
That'll happen. Anyway, so they won.
Yep.
And we stop right there, and it's a beautiful, happy story.
It's so happy, it's wonderful.
It's so wonderful.
Prayers were answered.
And he goes back home victorious. And nothing bad could possibly happen after that.
No. Except this is the book of Judges.
Yeah, so always something bad. Always happens.
Every single time.
It's always something bad.
The best thing in the book of Judges is the end, where it's like, yes, we're through. No more book of Judges.
Yeah, that we go into the book of 1 Samuel, where,
it's
fat
just
people
as bad.
fall off of chairs and break their necks, and the Ark of the Covenant gets stolen.
Hey, that's only bad for you.
Well, yeah, it is kind of a scary one there. That's and and children get named Ichabod, the glory has departed, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, unfortunately, Jephthah's vow turned out to be not so happy.
Poor guy goes back home, and first thing out of the door of his house is his only daughter.
And so, we cover that in another, and you can look into how that all worked out, because that's not part of the prayer that we have.
No, it is not.
But
it is something that is kind of connected to the prayer that we can use here. When you are praying to God and you promise Him something,
be careful.
Be very careful.
Think before you promise.
Yes.
It can get you into trouble.
And do not take a promise to God lightly under any circumstances.
Now, obviously, God did not want him to sacrifice his daughter.
No.
As a burnt offering.
No. That's the whole point of what they were fighting against.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing.
The Baals, Molech, and the gods there. Like,
that's
the people would sacrifice their kids
and God
to
said,
the gods.
I hate that. That's an abomination to me.
It's terrible.
And so, anyway, but but you can watch the chapter on Judges 11. Yes. We go in depth more on the rest of that about the vow and all that kind of thing.
And his scary.
Yeah, sad stuff. Yeah, because it's the book of Judges. And we'll be looking at another topic tomorrow, probably, and then we'll be back to another sad prayer from Judges.
Woo! Which one do we have next? Are we up to 20?
Yeah, I think that the next one is the next one is. The next one is about the next two actually are about Samson.
Whew.
Which they're
we have some time till we hit 20.
Well, they're not exactly happy either.
Well, no, but it's
most of the time. Other times when people prayed to God, "Let me die," He said no. But anyway, sometimes He says yes.
Yep. Be careful what you pray for as well.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.